Stories of Great Christians. From its radio studios in Chicago, the Moody Bible Institute greets its friends everywhere with Chapter 3 in the transcribed story of Florence Nightingale, the Lady with the Lamp. In the story of every life, there are days which seem to stand out in letters of gold. Such a day was February 7th, 1837, when Florence Nightingale recorded these words.
Today God called me to his service.
And Florence was not disobedient to the heavenly vision. For several months she worked zealously among the poor. Then her work was interrupted. She was whisked off to spend almost 2 years on the European continent. Life on the Riviera rubbed off her shyness, and she began to distinguish herself. Everywhere, great and famous people were attracted to the elegant, witty young Englishwoman. Mama Nightingale was greatly pleased and took her girls back home, sure that they were going to make their mark in English society. But the social round soon became tiresome to Florence.
I finished with the rose glasses, Hannah. You can put them back in the cabinet.
Yes, Miss Florence. Well, what's all this, Flo?
Mama said to take inventory, Parthy, so I'm taking inventory.
But the papers, all colors.
Well, the blue lists are for china, the pink for glassware, and the yellow for silver.
And the white?
Oh, those are for odds and ends. If it doesn't fit anywhere else, it goes on the white list.
I see. Just like my efficient little sister.
I'm rather enjoying it. Though I keep wondering if all this could possibly be necessary to make a person civilized.
There you go, talking again.
Well, anyway, it gives me something to do.
Isn't there always plenty to do?
Oh, indeed. Leave it to Mama to see to that. Since we came home in September, how long do you think we've been alone?
Well, not very long.
Not 1 fortnight.
Well, suppose we haven't. Who wants to be alone?
But this gives us no time to work or to think. It's such a bore to be forever looking merry and saying something lively.
I think it's fun to entertain.
Oh, not when it goes on and on. Mornings, noons, and nights. Oh, sometimes I think I shall go mad with the monotony of it all.
Flo, for goodness sake, what made you come here? I've been hunting for you for an hour.
Why? What time is it?
It's after 8. We had to have dinner without you. And of course everyone wondered where you were. Mama's frantic. And Papa got so worried that he said I should try taking the coach to find you. Why didn't you come home?
Sally Andrews is very sick, Parthy.
Oh.
That's why. She's been here alone for weeks, and there's no one who will come in to look after her. So I came myself.
I don't see how you can care more for a lost creature like Sally than you do for Mama's feelings.
And I don't see how you can care more for a party than you do for the life of a fellow creature.
But Sally doesn't even have a very nice name in these parts. You know what people say.
All the more reason why I should stay, Parthy. The poor soul needs all the help I can give her.
Well, I can't spend all night arguing. Are you coming or aren't you?
You go home and send Sarah back. I leave Sally with her. I wouldn't trust her to anyone else. She's still extremely low.
All right. But all that's going to take time. And you're the one who has to answer to Mama.
Seven o'clock already?
More tea, dear?
No, thank you, Fanny.
Hannah, you may go ahead and clear the breakfast things away.
You know, I just happened to think I have a letter in my room that I need to finish.
It can wait. I haven't read the Times yet. I say, where are you going, Parthene?
Just to get my drawing board, Papa. I'll be back in a second.
Hand me the paper, Fanny.
Yes, dear. Here you are.
Coming, Parthene?
Right here, Papa.
All right, if everyone's ready, I'll begin. Queen Victoria has recovered much of her former favor with the Whig party after the firmness she showed in the recent political upheaval. She was chaired and called forward at the opera, which has not been done for months. The story of the fracas is...
About the middle of winter in the same year, 1839, something happened which brought about a crisis in the Nightingale family. Mrs. Gale, the old woman who'd nursed Parthene and Florence when they were babies, became very ill. The doctor was called, and after his examination he gave his report to Mrs. Nightingale, who in turn told Florence.
I'm sorry to tell you, Flo. The doctor doesn't hold out any hope for our Gale.
Oh, Mama, is it so serious?
I guess we thought she'd never get old and feeble. She's always been so strong and efficient. Like a right arm to me she's been.
The trip to Embley will be rather hard on her, won't it?
I've been thinking about that. Of course, the season here is over and Embley should be opened up soon. But I'll not move Gale now in her condition.
But your guests, Mama. I mean, what about the people you've invited to spend time with us at Embley in the next few weeks?
I'll just have to write and postpone everything.
But your plans, I know you've been counting on entertaining Baron Bunsen and all the
plans will wait. Dear Gale is not going to be separated from her children in her last days.
Mama, you're a dear yourself. Then, if we're staying here, may I spend all my time with Gale and take care of her? I want to above all.
Well, you've proved yourself as a nurse, I'll admit. You did so well taking care of Grandmother Shore, and that poor woman in Weller would have died but for you.
So I may be Gale's nurse, Mama? You mean yes, then, don't you?
Yes, Flo, I mean you may.
Miss Flo?
Yes, Gale.
Oh, you're right here. I don't know what gave the notion that you'd gone out. Somehow, can't bear to have you far away. Don't see how you've been so patient these last 2 weeks. Fretful old woman that I am.
You're never fretful, Gale.
I'm going to die, Miss Flo. I know I am.
Now, none of that.
No use pretending. Never had a sick day in my life till now. Was well, quite well. But I've been sadly off my teas and breakfasts of late.
No, you'll tire yourself out talking. Now, do try to get some sleep, dear.
But first I want to tell you, Miss Flo, you know, we talked about the funeral.
Yes, Gale. If it comes to that, everything will be exactly as you want it.
There's one other little thing, Miss Flo. When they carry my coffin to the graveyard, make sure they take it across the common. I don't want 'em bumping me up and down over the stiles. You will tell them, won't you, Miss Flo?
Yes, Gale. Now you're drowsy and it's getting very late. And you must get some sleep.
Be sure to tell.
Here, Gale, let me give you a fresh pillow. Pulse is very rapid. Too rapid. Breathing is irregular, too. Hannah! Hannah, wake up! Call the coachman and send him for the doctor at once.
Miss Flo. Miss Flo?
Gail, you must be quiet.
Now, mind what I say, Miss Flo. Mind, we need 2 of them.
There.
That's what we need. We got
Lie
to have
down,
2,
dear.
2 new cases for the bed, and whoever sleeps here next year will enjoy them.
There, you mustn't get
they
out
will
of bed,
enjoy
Gail.
them. It's Hannah, such an idle girl. Hannah, get to your work.
Gail,
What a
please.
girl. What a girl.
It's no use. I can't keep her in.
Oh, Miss Flo.
Here, Gail. Sit here, please. Here. Oh, that's it. Here, in this chair. There. You're more comfortable there, aren't you?
Shh. Don't wake the cook, Miss Flo. Shh. Cook has to get up early in the morning.
Oh, dear. She's
Miss
completely out of her head.
Florence. Miss Florence, I say...
What is it, Gail?
Be careful. Be careful, Miss Florence. Going down the stairs.
Gail. Gail! Oh, Doctor, thank heaven you've come.
I rather expected this. I came at once.
Doctor, I'm afraid this time you've come too late. Mama, it was taking care of Gail and Grandmother Shaw that started me thinking.
Yes?
After all, I'm old enough now to have a serious purpose. So, I want to study to be a nurse.
Study to be a nurse? Are you out of your head?
No, Mama, I'm more serious than I've ever been in my life. I want to learn everything I can about nursing and devote myself to caring for the sick.
But, my dear young lady, no one of your rank ever studies in a hospital. Why, it's enough for you to take care of those in the family and in our neighborhood who are ill.
But that's not enough for me, Mama. I want to be a real hospital nurse.
Flo, you can't be serious. Hospital nurses are no better than... Well, they're no better than common servants of the lowest class.
But why do they have to be?
Florence, I hate to disillusion you, but nurses are not even so well considered as domestic servants. It's not a proper subject for a young lady. But since you insist on discussing it, I'll tell you frankly. Nurses have no reputation, and hospital nurses are notorious for a complete lack of morals.
But, Mama, why should they have no morals? I mean, why couldn't I set a better example? Why can't nursing become a respectable profession?
Well, the fact is that it's not, and there's no place for you to train. So that's the end of it. This conversation is very distressing to me.
But there is a place I can train, Mama. I've been thinking of it for weeks. Dr. Fowler is a very good friend of ours, isn't he? And his hospital is very well thought of. Why couldn't I train there? Oh, not to live inside the hospital itself, perhaps, but I...
Preposterous. Dr. Fowler himself would be the first to say no. Florence, the whole idea is utterly preposterous.
But, Mama, couldn't you ask him anyway? If I have to go on in this meaningless, dull way, being no use to anyone, I think I shall just die.
Florence, listen to me. You must get the idea of nursing out of your head once and for all. It's simply impossible, and I shall never allow it. Do you understand, Florence? I shall never allow it.
And so we conclude Chapter 3 in the transcribed story of Florence Nightingale, The Lady with the Lamp. This is another in the series of stories of great Christians, which come to you from the radio studios of the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago.